Good morning, children.
Good morning,
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, children. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. So let's continue from example 5. The statement is show that the bisectors of an angle of a parallelogram form a rectangle. Show that the bisectors of the angles of a parallelogram. So the quadrilateral is a parallelogram already. And we know that every quadrilateral has 4 interior angles. The 4 interior angles are bisected. And the bisectors, they will form a quadrant. They may not always form. I'll tell you those exceptions later. First, we'll understand this. We have a parallelogram, and we know that every quadrilateral has 4 interior angles. The interior angles are bisected. Now, in a parallelogram, when the 4 interior angles are bisected, the bisectors will form a quadrilateral in the middle. We need to show that that quadrilateral is a rectangle. Is my voice clear, children? Am I audible?
Yes,
Audible and
ma'am.
Yes,
clear?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's draw this one. We are given a parallelogram. We are given a parallelogram. So we are given, oh, sorry. Okay, so we have a parallelogram A, B, C, D. These are the 4 interior angles of the, see the word in the statement, we only have the word angles. Angles means interior angles. When nothing is mentioned, angles means the interior angles. So parallelogram, any quadrilateral has 4 interior angles. So these are the 4 interior angles of the parallelogram. The bisectors of the angles. So this is angle A, and this is the bisector of angle A. This is angle B, and this is the bisector. This is the bisector of angle B. This is angle C, and this is the bisector of angle C. And this is angle D, and this is the bisector of angle D. Now we can see a quadrilateral enclosed by the bisectors. The bisectors, they enclose a quadrilateral. We need to prove that this quadrilateral is a rectangle. Let me show you again. See here. Parallelogram. Bisector of this angle. Bisector of this angle. Bisector of this angle. Bisector of this angle. They will enclose the bisectors. Just ignore this. Just ignore this one. Take away. Let's just okay, fine. Let me finish with this one. So, can you see the quadrilateral formed here by the bisectors? You need to prove that this quadrilateral is a rectangle. You need to prove that this quadrilateral is a rectangle. Let us just truncate the bisectors. Now see here, we'll see this is bisector of angle, whatever, these 2 angles. Bisectors of, see here like this. I've just erased these portions. A quadrilateral will be formed here in the middle. See, this is the bisector of one angle. This is the bisector of another angle, third angle, fourth angle, bisectors. They'll enclose a quadrilateral. We need to prove that this one is a rectangle. See here, I'll produce it. See here, this is the bisector of one angle. This is the bisector of the second angle. This is the bisector of the third angle. And this is the bisector of the fourth angle. The bisectors enclose a quadrilateral. We need to prove that the quadrilateral is a rectangle. So we are given a parallelogram. We need to take up its four interior angles. And we need to construct, not here construct. So we need to take up the bisectors of the four interior angles. The bisectors will enclose a quadrilateral. We need to prove that this quadrilateral is a rectangle. Now again, to prove that a quadrilateral is a rectangle, we need to use a definition of a rectangle. To prove that a quadrilateral is a rectangle, we need to use a definition of a rectangle. A rectangle is a parallelogram. Okay, so first we need to prove that this quadrilateral is a parallelogram. We need to prove, because we only know that this is a quadrilateral. The outer one is a parallelogram. The whole figure is a parallelogram. This one is a parallelogram. But the four-sided figure, the quadrilateral here formed in the middle is only a quadrilateral. We have to prove it's a rectangle. We have to prove it's a rectangle. So to prove it's a rectangle, we need to use a definition of a rectangle. It's a parallelogram in which one angle is a right angle. A parallelogram in which one angle is a right angle. So we need to first prove that this is a parallelogram. We need to first prove that this is a parallelogram. And in this parallelogram, so to prove that a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, you can here we will prove that both the pairs of opposite angles are equal. We have seen this property. We have seen this property in a parallelogram. Opposite sides are equal. Opposite sides are parallel. Opposite angles are equal. Diagonals bisect each other. Diagonals are unequal. We are going to use this property that in a quadrilateral, when both pairs of opposite angles are equal, it's a parallelogram. And later, after proving that the quadrilateral is a parallelogram, we'll prove that one angle is a right angle. One angle is a right angle, so it's a rectangle. So that is, we'll first prove that this one is a parallelogram by showing that both the pairs of opposite angles are equal. Both pairs of opposite angles are equal, so it's a parallelogram. And then we'll prove that one angle is a right angle. So we prove that it's a parallelogram, and in the parallelogram, one angle is a right angle. So it satisfies the definition of a rectangle. Therefore, the quadrilateral enclosed in the middle is a rectangle. Okay, so we need to prove that this one is a rectangle. This one, I'm drawing it several times so that you understand. This one is a rectangle is what we have to prove. So you should remember this result. The quadrilateral formed when the bisectors of the interior angles of a parallelogram is a rectangle. I cannot annotate, children. When I zoom in, I cannot annotate. Just follow the pointer. Now, to prove that peak, so that extra portions are erased, like, you know, see, this is the AP is the bisector. AP is a bisector. AP is a ray. AP is a ray. It doesn't end here. It's a ray. So that extra portion is just rubbed out. AP is a ray. AP is the bisector of angle A. BP BP is the bisector of angle B. So you can say that the bisectors of angle A and B, they intersect at P. They will intersect. The bisectors of angle A and B will intersect. So the bisectors of angle A and B intersect at P. The bisectors of the angle B and angle C, they intersect at Q. Here, I'll show you again. The bisectors of angle A and angle B, they meet at P. What is this Q? The bisectors of angle B and angle C, they meet at Q. The bisectors of C and D, the bisectors of C and D meet at R. And the bisectors of D and A meet at S. So the bisectors of A and B, the bisectors of A and B meet at P, and the bisectors of B and C at Q, the bisectors of C and D at R, the bisectors of D and A at S. So this quadrilateral PQRS we need to prove is a rectangle. I think without annotating, it's difficult to say. So let me. Yeah. So we know that the sum of, please don't read what is here, children. Follow my annotation. Don't try to read what is here. So we know that in a parallelogram, adjacent angles are supplementary. Adjacent angles are supplementary. So angle A plus angle B is equal to 180. Angle A plus angle B is equal to 180. Let's divide by 2 throughout. So half of angle A plus half of angle B is equal to half of 180. We divide by 2 throughout. A plus B is equal to 180 because co-interior angles are supplementary. Then we divide by 2 throughout. So half of angle A plus half of angle B is equal to half of 180. Now what is half of angle A? Because the angle is bisected. The angle is bisected. Half of angle A is this one, or you can even use this one. But we'll choose to use this. See, since the angle is bisected, half of angle A is this portion or this portion. We are going to use this portion. So half of angle A is replaced with PAB. Here, PAB. Because we are going to do something with the triangle PAB. With the triangle PAB. We have got something to do with the triangle PAB. So we'll say that half of angle A is this portion, which can be named SAB or PAB. But since PAB is a triangle, so we choose to write it as PAB, angle PAB in triangle PAB. PAB is a triangle. PAB is a triangle, and angle PAB is an angle of the triangle PAB, which is half of angle A. So PAB, half of angle A is PAB. And similarly, angle B is bisected. So half of angle B is this one or this one. But we choose to go with this. So which can be named PBA. So half of angle B is PBA. And half of 180, you know, is 90. So in triangle PAB, look at the figure. In triangle PAB, this angle plus this angle is 90. It's 90. The sum of these two angles of triangle PAB is 90. So that means the third angle must measure 90 degrees by the angle sum property, because the sum of the three angles is 180. The sum of all the three angles is 180. If the sum of two angles is 90, the third angle has to be 90 degrees by the angle sum property. So this implies angle APB. You can see here, this implies angle APB is 90 in triangle PAB by angle sum property. Angle sum property. ASP, I mean angle sum property. We have to repeat the same in the other triangles. I'll repeat this for you. Angle A plus angle B is equal to 180. Co-interior angles are supplementary. Half of angle A plus half of angle B is equal to half of 180. Half of angle A is this angle, angle PAB. Half of angle B is PBA. So PAB plus PBA is equal to 90. In triangle in triangle PAB, the sum of these two angles is equal to 90. So the third angle is 90 degrees. So like this angle APB is 90 degrees. So what we're going to do, we are going to prove that every angle P is 90, angle Q is 90, angle R is 90, angle S is 90. We're going to prove, because we got one angle 90 degrees, right? Now, if we are trying to prove that PQRS is a quadrilateral, we have to first prove it's a parallelogram. Property used in a quadrilateral, when both pairs of opposite angles are equal, it's a parallelogram. So we are trying to prove that angle P is equal to angle R, angle S is equal to angle Q. Now we got angle P is 90. That means R also should be 90, right? We have to prove R is 90. Only then you can say that opposite angles are equal. Similarly, you will see that Q and S also will be 90 degrees. We have to prove. Now PQRS is only a quadrilateral. Now you cannot say opposite angles are equal, so R is 90. No, it's only a quadrilateral. It has no special properties. It has only the properties of a quadrilateral. It has 4 sides, 4 angles, 2 diagonals. That's all. No special property it has because it's just a quadrilateral. PQRS is not a parallelogram now. We have to prove it's a parallelogram. Angle P we proved is 90. Now we'll move on to prove that the other angles I just marked, QRS are all 90 degrees. Take up the next pair of co-interior angles. Any order you can work, children. I have worked A and B first, and now I've worked B and C. See, first A plus B is equal to 180. Now we'll say that B plus C is 180. Then see here, C plus D is 180. D plus A is also 180, but it's enough if you do any 3. Any 3 is enough. We know that angle A plus angle B is 180. Co-interior angles are supplementary. Angle B plus C is 180. Angle C plus D is 180. Angle D plus A is also 180. Of these 4, you can work any 3. Of these 4, you can work any 3. Any 3. Okay. So now let's take up this result. Angle B plus angle C is 180. For the same reason, co-interior angles are supplementary in a parallelogram. Same thing. Half of B plus half of C is half of 180. Now half of B. This is angle B. This is angle B. This is angle B. Half of B. We'll take this one. We'll take this one in triangle QBC. In triangle QBC. See, first we took up this triangle APB. APB. This one. Now this triangle QBC. This one. Okay, so half of angle B is this portion. Half of angle C is this portion, which can be named as QBC and QCB. QBC and QCB. Half of 180 is 90. So in this triangle QBC, the sum of these two angles, this angle plus this angle, the sum of these two angles is equal to 90. So the third angle, this one will be 90 degrees. If this is 90, vertically opposite angles, this also will be 90. Here we have to use vertically opposite angles. For angle P, we got it straight away. Inside the quadrilateral angle P, we got it straight away. Angle P is 90. But to find angle Q, we found this one is 90. This one is 90. And vertically opposite angles are equal. So this one is also 90. So inside PQRS, Q is also 90 degrees. Same thing for C and D. C and D. Yeah. C plus D is 180. Here we just use one extra property that vertically opposite angles are equal because we have to find angle Q. Again, C plus D is 180. Half of angle C plus half of angle D. See, we use half of angle C because angle C is bisected. If it's not bisected, then we cannot use half because you will not know half of that angle. Half of angle CD we use because the angles are bisected. Only when they are bisected, you can, you can divide by 2 throughout like this. So half of angle C is this portion. Half of angle D is this portion. And the triangle is, we take up this triangle to find angle R. This triangle. So half of angle C is RCD. RCD. Half of angle D is RDC. RDC. See this one. RDC. RDC. Half of 180 is 90. So in triangle RCD, the sum of two angles is equal to 90 degrees. So the third angle will be 90. So since the sum of these two angles is 90, angle CRD is 90 degrees in triangle RCD by angle sum property. So now we proved that angle P is 90, Q is 90, R is 90. Enough. You can repeat this procedure and find S is 90. You can find this is 90 degrees. So vertically opposite angle, this is 90. You can do that. You can repeat this procedure. Disable your mic. Please check your mic, children. So you can repeat this procedure, find angle S, and then find this one. What this one? You can find this angle 90, and then vertically opposite angles are equal. So this also will be 90. You can do that, but you can save time by doing this. So you found that angle P is 90, Q is 90, R is 90. So by angle sum property of a quadrilateral, this one has to be 90 degrees, because in a quadrilateral, the sum of all the four angles is 360 degrees. It's equal to four right angles. The sum of the four angles of a quadrilateral is equal to four right angles, 360 degrees. We have three right angles already, so the fourth one has to be a right angle. So in quadrilateral, you can see it here, in quadrilateral PQRS, P is 90, Q is 90, R is 90 from 1, 2, and 3. Okay, from 1, 2, and 3, because in 1 we proved it's 90. From 1, 2, and 3. From 1, 2, and 3. So that means by angle sum property of a quadrilateral, the fourth angle also has to be 90 degrees. I'll just call that A. I've just called this result A. So from A, in quadrilateral, now this one, I think there is a typing mistake here. PQR is no, there's a typing mistake here. Let me correct this. So from A, okay, I have not completed it probably. Okay. All right, children, I've forgotten to complete it. Okay. So now what have we proved? We proved that all the four angles is 90 degrees. P, Q, R, S, all the four angles is equal to 90 degrees. So that means in quadrilateral PQRS, opposite angles are equal. Opposite angles are equal. No, listen to me. Don't see. I don't know what I've typed here. I don't know. I've made some mistake there. Listen to me now. We proved that angle P is 90. We proved that Q is 90. We proved that R is 90. We proved that S is 90. So in quadrilateral PQRS, both the pairs of opposite angles are equal. See, all the angles are equal is a different story. Are opposite angles equal? Yes. P is equal to R, Q is equal to S. Yes, opposite angles are equal. So it's a parallelogram. In quadrilateral PQRS, both pairs of opposite angles are equal. All angles are equal. That's correct. But are opposite angles equal? Yes, they are equal. So in a quadrilateral, when opposite angles are equal, when both pairs of opposite angles are equal, it's a parallelogram. So PQRS is a parallelogram. Now in the parallelogram PQRS, one angle is a right angle. All angles are right angles, but there's at least one right angle to satisfy the definition, because that's the definition of a rectangle. A parallelogram in which one angle is a right angle is a rectangle. So it's a parallelogram. PQRS is a parallelogram. Is one angle a right angle? Yes, all angles are 90 degrees, but yes, there is angle P which is 90, or you can say Q is 90, R is 90, S is 90, any one. Therefore, it satisfies the definition of a rectangle. Therefore, PQRS is a rectangle. So I think if I do this correction, this will work. Therefore, PQRS is a rectangle. So from A in quadrilateral PQRS, opposite angles are equal. Therefore, it's a parallelogram. Therefore, it's a parallelogram. Okay, opposite angles are equal. So it's a parallelogram. And in the parallelogram, one angle is 90 degrees. Therefore, it's a rectangle. PQRS is a rectangle. Yes, children, write down. Just make this rectangle. Just make this one rectangle. Just quickly write down example 5. Class, use the emoji, raise your hand.
Ma'am, I'm unable to use it, ma'am.
Okay, okay, then. Pratiksha,
Ma'am, I'm unable to use the emoji. Excuse me, ma'am.
yeah, okay, Pratiksha, fine, Pratiksha. Okay, so Sangamitra, Deepika, Nivedita. Yes,
Ma'am, can you hear me?
yes, I can. Yes, I can. Okay, Sangamitra, Deepika, Nivedita, Ananya, Vasudevan, Hitesh, Arav, Nikita, Kanishka, Satvika, Pranav, Shreyas, Pratiksha, Tarun. Now, regarding yesterday's submission, Sangamitra was the first to submit with complete work.
Ma'am, now can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Ma'am, I'm unable to use the emoji, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Sangamitra had completed her work during the class, so she was the first to submit. And then I got other messages. So 1 second. After Sangamitra, I think Nivedita submitted. Okay, good. I got Deepika's work. Tarun Ishwaran, what one page you sent? What about the others? Vasudevan, during the class, I specified that when you complete your work, please do it along with the figure. So except for the figure, your work was complete, but late submission. So I cannot take that because students might even finish it after the class and send it. So I don't know. Please send it soon after the class. Okay. That's all. Nobody else submitted.
Ma'am, yesterday I couldn't attend the class, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, I
Alright, see,
have informed you that I have class.
correct, yeah. See, children, I don't want to spend time on advising. All of us know our responsibilities. Please act accordingly. That's all I can say. Now, I'm giving you time to complete this proof now during the class, along with the figure. Please draw the figure and write out the proof. If you need time, just ask me. Tell me you have not finished. I will not go to the next one. Yes, write down the proof. Draw the figure first. That is important. Only with respect to the figure, you can understand the proof. Without the figure, you cannot understand the proof. Just start working. Start writing. Given parallelogram ABCD to prove PQRS is a rectangle. Children, after given, also write this, children. I missed to write. Given parallelogram ABCD, after that, the bisectors of angle A and B meet at, you can write it in 4 lines. You can write it in 4 lines. The bisectors of angle A and B meet at P. The bisectors of angle B and C meet at Q. The bisectors of C and D meet at R, and the bisectors of A and D meet at S. Under given, please write these 4 also. Given parallelogram ABCD, then below that, the bisectors of angle A and angle B meet at P. And so on. And then to prove proof.
Ma'am, under given what all to write, ma'am?
Yeah, write down Arav. I'll tell you now. Have you written parallelogram ABCD?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, now under that, the bisectors of angle A and B meet at P. Simple. Don't write angle A and GLE. Just write one for reference.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
after that we want to send this all, which all we written, we want to send out, ma'am.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll give you the instructions at the end of the class here.
Ma'am, that last from A in quadrilateral PQRS, that too also that written.
1 minute, 1 minute. Meet at P. This is meet, okay, children, please. This is meet. Ah, yes, one by one. Arav, now can you finish the others?
Ma'am?
Yeah, can you finish the others? I've written one. Read what I've written. The bisectors of.
The bisectors of angle A and B meet at P, ma'am.
Okay, now tell me the others. The bisectors of.
Ma'am, one second. Ma'am, the bisectors angle D and C meet at R, ma'am.
Ah, correct.
Yes.
Then.
Ma'am, bisectors angle A and D meet at S, ma'am.
Correct.
And bisector angle B and C meet at Q, ma'am.
Perfect. Yeah, you need to write all these 4 under given.
Yes,
Given.
ma'am.
Okay, yeah, good. Yes, Shreyas.
Ma'am, do we have to write that from A in quadrilateral PQRS there? No, do we have to write that?
Do we have to write what? No. Come again.
The last line of that.
Yeah,
Ma'am, the
yeah.
last line. No.
Therefore, PQRS is a rectangle. Now it's correct. I corrected it. Instead of rectangle, I wrote parallelogram. That's all.
Okay.
I have
As you write, please look into the figure and understand what you're writing.
Mom, I have a doubt.
Sure, please ask.
Yes, ma'am. So we have proved that angle APB and angle QPR are 90 degrees, right?
APB,
So,
APB,
APB and PQR.
APB is the same as, okay, APB, PQR, okay.
So, but they're co-interior angles formed by like AB and AP and CR.
Correct.
So, can we directly write that PQ and QR are parallel to each other?
Correct. Yes. When co-interior angles are the, so the angle P is 90, angle Q is 90. So angle P plus angle Q. Let me mark. So angle P plus angle Q is equal to 180. So that means PS is parallel to QR. Correct. Yes. Similarly, when we get 90 degrees here, when you get 90 here, you should say that angle Q plus angle R is 180. Co-interior angles are supplementary. So this is parallel to this.
Okay.
Yeah, and hence PQRS is the parallelogram. So this is using the property that both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. That is the definition of a parallelogram. But only for a parallelogram, we can use different results to prove. You can prove that in certain cases, we will use the property that the diagonals bisect each other, so it's a parallelogram. Sometimes you can prove more than one result. Sometimes the information will be sufficient only to prove one result. So accordingly, we choose the condition. So here you can do it like this also. So as you said, we proved that angle P is 90 and Q is 90. We found P is 90, we found Q is 90. So this means P plus Q is equal to 180. So these are two lines. PS is a line, RQ is a line intersected by a transversal PQ. And co-interior angle is supplementary. Therefore, PS is parallel to QR. Then later we proved that angle R is also 90. We proved R is 90. So now angle Q plus angle R is 180. Again, co-interior angle is supplementary. So these two lines, this line and this line, these two lines are parallel to each other. They are parallel to each other because when co-interior angle is supplementary, the lines are parallel. These two lines, this is the transversal. These are the two lines. Co-interior angle is supplementary, so the lines are parallel to each other. So this way you can say that both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel and hence PQRS is a parallelogram. You are right, Sangamitra. Anything else? Have you all completed?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, 2 minutes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, can I send the last four sums to you, ma'am?
Yeah, sure. Yesterday's
As
work,
you,
right?
yes, ma'am. I didn't attend the class, no, ma'am. So can I copy and send it to you, ma'am?
Correct. You can. Did you use the recording?
Yes, ma'am. I saw.
Okay, good.
Ma'am? Ma'am?
Arav, just a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Arab?
Ma'am, my mom's phone is not there. Can I send from another number, ma'am?
Yeah, after the class, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Not now, yeah. So in example 6, ABCD is a parallelogram in which here ABCD is a parallelogram ABCD is a parallelogram in which P and Q are the midpoints of the opposite sides AB and CD. So P is the midpoint of AB. The order is important. P is the midpoint of AB and Q is the midpoint of CD. So P is the midpoint of AB, Q is the midpoint of CD. If AQ intersects DP at S, AQ meaning we'll have to join A and Q. AQ meaning we have to join A and Q. If AQ intersects DP, where is DP? DP also, we don't see the line segment DP. That means you need to join. You need to join the points D and P to find the line segment DP. If AQ intersects DP at S, so this is S, and BQ intersects, where is BQ? No, we don't find BQ, so we'll have to join the points B and Q. BQ intersects CP at R, CP. Okay, so CP. We have the points C and P, but we don't see the line segment CP. So you'll have to join, connect the point C and P to make out the line segment CP. So these two, they meet at R. BQ and CP, they meet at R. Show that. So with this information, when given this, we need to show that APCQ is a parallelogram. APCQ, see APCQ, this one, APCQ. APCQ. This one is a parallelogram. Then DPBQ, DP, BQ, BQ. DPBQ. This one is a parallelogram. And also PSQR. The one here, in the middle, this diamond, something that looks like a diamond. PSQR. PSQR, this one. You need to prove that these three quadrilaterals are parallelograms. You need to prove that these three quadrilaterals are parallelograms. I'll show you the proof, children, because you need to understand this by yourself. Very simple, based on what we have understood so far, using the definitions. Let me show you the proof. Start writing. I'll ask one of you to explain the proof, or a few of us will participate in explaining the proof. You may start writing actually. You start writing. As you write, look into the figure and try to understand, and we'll discuss later.
Hello.
So here the property used is if one pair of in a quadrilateral, if one pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal, if one pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal, then the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Okay. Finish writing, children?
Miss, 1 minute, ma'am.
Okay.
1 minute, ma'am.
All right.
1 minute.
Sure. So for the first and second, for this and this, the property used is one pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal. So it's a parallelogram. This property, what I've written here. For the third one, the definition of the parallelogram. Both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. So it's a parallelogram. Both pairs of opposite sides parallel. So it's a parallelogram for the third one. For 1 and 2, one pair of opposite sides parallel and equal. So parallelogram. Is it over, children?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll come to this, children. I'll just give you something to write. I need a break for 5 minutes. Children, please write down this in your notebook. I'll just get back in 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. Please write this. This is exercise 18.1. Sorry, exercise 8.1. NCERT exercise 8.1. The first one, you can just take a screenshot.
Took, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, took, ma'am.
Leave some space. You can write this later. The second one. Write down this now. Yeah, I'm back, children. Let me know when you're done with this.
Ma'am, could you please just show me the first one again, ma'am? Thank you, ma'am.
We'll finish this and go back to the example. So here, if the diagonals of a parallelogram are equal, it's given that the diagonals of a parallelogram are equal. Then we need to show that it's a rectangle. If the diagonals of a parallelogram are equal, then show that it's a rectangle. Now you can see that the figure ABCD already looks like a rectangle. We have not drawn it in the shape of a parallelogram. See, so actually it is like this. We are given a parallelogram in which diagonals are equal. We are given a parallelogram in which diagonals are equal. We are given a parallelogram in which diagonals are equal. We need to show that it's a rectangle. But if you draw your figure like this, ABCD like this, then finally you will say that therefore ABCD is a rectangle. See here the last line, therefore ABCD is a rectangle. But the figure does not match the result. Therefore ABCD is a rectangle. So you need to draw the figure to match the result. We are going to prove that it's a rectangle. So draw the figure in the shape of a rectangle. You're going to prove it's a rectangle. Now ABCD, which looks like a rectangle, is also a parallelogram. It's also a parallelogram. ABCD is also a parallelogram. You can draw a parallelogram like a rectangle, but you cannot draw a rectangle like a parallelogram. You cannot draw something like this and say that this is my rectangle. This is not a rectangle, but this one is a rectangle, which is also a parallelogram. Draw the figure to suit the end result. You're going to prove that the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Sorry, the quadrilateral is a rectangle. So ABCD should be drawn to look like a rectangle. Only then that last line which you say will be justified. ABCD is a rectangle. Therefore, ABCD is a rectangle. It's a rectangle. Okay, so we are given a parallelogram ABCD. See, we are given a parallelogram ABCD in which the diagonals are equal. AC is equal to BD. ABCD is the parallelogram. ABCD is the parallelogram. We have drawn it in the shape of a rectangle because we are going to prove that ABCD is a rectangle. And the rectangle is also a parallelogram. So you can draw a parallelogram like this. ABCD is a parallelogram. Yes. Diagonal AC is equal to diagonal BD given. Given this, we need to, because in a parallelogram, diagonals are not equal. If it is equal, it is a rectangle. But that we have to prove now. In a parallelogram, which is not a rectangle, in a parallelogram, diagonals are not equal. Diagonals are unequal in a parallelogram. If the diagonals are equal in a parallelogram and diagonals are equal, it's a rectangle. That's what we have to prove now. So we need to prove that ABCD is a rectangle. So to prove that ABCD is a rectangle, we need to use a definition. See, children, please be clear with what is given and what is to be proved. We are given a parallelogram in which the diagonals are equal. AC is equal to BD. We have to prove that this ABCD is a rectangle. We are given it's a parallelogram. We'll have to prove it's a rectangle. So to prove it's a rectangle, we need to use a definition. What is a rectangle? It's a parallelogram in which one angle is a right angle. But ABCD is already given to be a parallelogram. So half work is done. ABCD is already given to be a parallelogram. So we just have to prove that one angle is a right angle. So for which we take up any two triangles on the same base. We take up any two triangles on the same base. So here I've taken up triangle ADC. Take up any two triangles on the same base. ADC. On the same base DC. On the same base DC. We have ADC and BDC. Here you can see we have considered two triangles on the same base DC. You can take, you have four bases. You can take same base or the two triangles on the same base AD, DC, BC, AB, anything. Here we have to take two triangles on the same base. Any two triangles on the same base. So I've taken ADC and BDC on the same base DC. Now let's prove that these two triangles are congruent. Let's prove that these two triangles are congruent. You can see the triangle separately here, ADC and BDC here. So now in these two triangles, AD is equal to BC because in a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. So AD of one triangle, AD of ADC is equal to BC of BDC because in a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. DC is the common side. DC is a side common to both the triangles. And we are given that AC is equal to BD. We are given that AC is equal to BD. AC of this triangle is equal to BD of this triangle because diagonals are equal given to us. AC is equal to BD given. So these two triangles are congruent by SSS congruence criterion. CPCTC, the two triangles are congruent by SSS, ADC, ADC, BCD. If you say ADC I've told you how to name it in the correct order. Here, AD, DC, BC, CD. When we did the chapter congruent triangles, I've told you how to name the triangles in the correct order. Take up any two equalities. Take up any two equalities. So if you take up, say, these two equalities, AD, DC. So AD, DC. Now this is BC. We'll write this as CD. We'll write this as CD. So AD, DC is ADC. ADC. BC, CD is BCD. Is BCD. If you use these two, you'll get a different order, but it's still correct. Supposing you use these two results, if you use these two, DC, so you should write this as CA. You must write this as CA, and this one is excuse me. Yeah, and this is DC. D is common, so we'll write this as CD, and we'll write this as DB. So D is common. BD will write as DB. DC will write as CD. So CD, DB. D is common, no? So it ends with D here, it starts with D here. CD, DB. DC, CA. CD, DB. So this will be called CDA. That's also correct. You can write CDA. CDA is congruent to CDB. CDA is congruent to CDB. CDB. That's also correct. CDA, CDB is also correct. So the two triangles are congruent by SSS congruence criterion. And when these two triangles are congruent, their corresponding sides and angles are equal. So angle 1 is equal to angle 2. Angle 1, angle D of the first triangle is equal to angle C of the second triangle. You can see here. You can read the angle from here. ADC, angle ADC, the second letter, angle ADC, is equal to angle BCD. The second letters, the second vertices in the two triangles, ADC, BCD, D and C. Angle ADC is, this is angle ADC. And angle BCD is this one, angle BCD. So these two angles are equal. Now use it here. This angle is equal to this angle. But they are co-interior angles, no, because ABCD is a parallelogram, so they are co-interior angles. Angle 1 is equal to angle 2, but they are co-interior angles. So that means they're supplementary, because ABCD is a parallelogram. So angle 1 is equal to angle 2 CPCTC, but 1 plus 2 is 180. But 1 and 2 are equal, so you can write 2 as 1. 1 plus 1 is 180, twice of 1 is 180, angle 1 is 90 degrees. So we proved that one angle is a right angle. We proved that angle 1 is 90 degrees. We proved that angle 1 is 90 degrees. This angle 1 is 90 degrees. So now in parallelogram ABCD, angle ADC is 90, that is angle D is 90. So by the definition, it's a rectangle. ABCD is a rectangle. Because now ABCD parallelogram given, we proved that one angle is a right angle. So it's a rectangle. So ABCD is a rectangle. Okay, I hope you finished writing this in your notebook.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So here we have to first prove that APCQ is a parallelogram. We have to prove that this one is a parallelogram. So for that, the property we use is we are going to prove that one pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal. Prove that we're going to prove that AP's the opposite sides of APCQ are AP and CQ. There is one more pair of opposite sides. We're going to take up AP and CQ. We're going to prove that AP is equal to CQ and AP is parallel to CQ. If AP is equal to CQ, if one pair of opposite sides in any quadrilateral, if one pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal, either both the pairs of opposite sides should be parallel. If only one pair of opposite sides is parallel, you should also prove it's equal. Then it's a parallelogram. So we are going to prove that AP is equal to CQ and AP is parallel to CQ. So one pair of opposite sides parallel and equal. So APCQ is a parallelogram. So for that we say AB is equal to CD. Yeah, because ABCD is a parallelogram. So opposite sides are equal. AB is equal to CD. And since, see, when you know the midpoint of a line segment, you can use half. When an angle is bisected, you can define halves. When a line segment, when you know the midpoint of a line segment, you can say half of this is equal to half of this. When an angle is bisected, when angles are bisected also, you can use half. Two holes are equal, their halves are also equal. Only when the angle is bisected or the line segment is bisected. If you don't know the midpoint or the or if the angle is not bisected, then you cannot use half of the angles are equal or half of the you will not be able to continue because you don't know half of the angles. So here, since we know the midpoints, P and Q are the midpoints. So we say AB is equal to CD. So half of A, because you know the midpoint of AB, you know the midpoint of CD. So half of AB is equal to half of CD. Half of AB, because P is the midpoint. P is the midpoint. P is the midpoint. So that means AP is equal to PB. So half of AB can be written as AP. Similarly, half of CD. Look up in the figure. Half of CD is DQ or CQ. And you can write CQ because that is the other side. AP and CQ are the opposite sides. So AP is equal to CQ. So we proved that. So we proved that one pair of opposite sides is equal. Now parallel, they're already parallel because AB is parallel to, AB is parallel to CD. This is equal to this because AB is equal to CD, half of AB is equal to half of CD. So AP is equal to CQ. Now they're already parallel. AP is already parallel to CQ because AB is parallel. AB is parallel to CD. And where is AP? Where is AP? It's a part of AB. It's a part of AB. And where is CQ? CQ is a part of CD. So when two lines or line segments are parallel, AB is parallel to CD. Any part of AB will be parallel to any part of CD. For parallel, they don't have to be equal portions. AB is parallel to CD because ABCD is a parallelogram. Any part of AB will be, a small part of AB can be parallel to a big part of CD. Parallel only, no, we are not saying they're equal. So When two lines or line segments are parallel, so here AB is parallel to CD, any small part of AB will be parallel to any big portion of CD. So here they need not be equal to be parallel. So AP is a part of AB. CQ is a part of CD. And since AB is parallel to CD, a part of AB will be parallel to a part of CD. So that's how we have AP parallel to CQ. AP parallel to CQ. And we also know AP is equal to CQ. We just proved that AP is equal to CQ. Therefore, in quadrilateral AP-CQ, the pair of this one pair of opposite sides, AP and CQ, they are parallel and equal. So AP-CQ is a parallelogram. Yes, Anna, how do we prove that PBDQ is a parallelogram? PBQD is a parallelogram. Who can prove that PBQD is a parallelogram?
Can I try, ma'am?
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. And we can prove PBDQ is a
I can help.
parallelogram. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
It's a parallelogram by
Now, 1 minute.
A.
I'm sorry to interrupt. No, but you should have something in your mind. No, so what is that procedure you're going to use to prove that PBQD is a parallelogram? Meaning, what is that? What is your aim? What do you want to prove is parallel and equal?
Ma'am, I want to prove that PB is parallel to DQ, ma'am.
Very good. Let's do that first. Because why did you choose PB and DQ?
Ma'am, because it's given that it's already given that ABCD is a parallelogram, ma'am.
No,
So
no,
opposite
I'm not
side.
no, why not? Why not taking PB and BQ? What is the criteria there in selecting the sides? Should you choose adjacent sides?
Ma'am, we should choose opposite sides.
Opposite sides, yeah, that's the criteria. We need to choose opposite sides. So you have chosen PB and DQ. We have to take PB and DQ.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
yeah, proceed. First, tell us PB is parallel to DQ.
Yes, ma'am. PB is parallel to DQ because AB is parallel to DC as ABCD is given as a parallelogram.
Very good. ABCD is a parallelogram. So in the parallelogram, AB is parallel to CD already because it's a parallelogram. So if AB is parallel to CD, what is PB? It is a?
Ma'am, it is half of AB, ma'am.
It is half, but you can just say it's a part of it. It need not be half. So we'll just say PB is a part of AB, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And what about DQ?
And DQ is a part of CD, ma'am.
CD. So because AB is parallel to CD, PB is also parallel to DQ. Very good. Next, what do you want to prove?
Ma'am, as it is proven that PB is parallel to DQ, can we say that it's a parallelogram, ma'am?
No. If one pair of opposite sides is parallel, you cannot say it's a parallelogram because even in a trapezium, one pair of opposite sides is parallel. So it doesn't become a parallelogram when one pair is parallel. Both the pairs must be parallel. Or if you cannot prove both pairs are parallel, one pair of opposite sides must be parallel and equal.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now what's the next goal? What should you do next?
Ma'am, we need to prove that the sides are equal.
Which sides?
PB and DQ.
Very good. PB and DQ, we need to prove they're equal. We proved that they are parallel. Now we need to prove they're equal. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Let me think, ma'am, 1 minute.
Yeah, sure. Can I ask somebody else? you don't mind?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can also think. Anybody else can continue from where Niveda stopped? How do we prove that PB is equal to DQ? Yes, somebody volunteer.
You know, ABCD is a parallelogram. So AB is equal to CD.
Okay.
And since P and Q are midpoints of AB and CD respectively, AP is also equal to P is equal to DQ, ma'am.
Okay. Right. So Sangamitra, let me just write this. I cannot annotate now. Okay, AB is equal to CD, right? AB is equal to CD because ABCD is a parallelogram. In a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. After that, how do you present it without meaning not using sentences? How will you proceed? AB is equal to CD. Next.
Since P and Q are midpoints, half of AB is equal to half of CD.
Okay, no, but okay, P and Q are the midpoints of AB and CD. So half of AB is equal to half of CD. So what are the two halves of AB?
Two halves of AB.
What are the two halves of AB?
AP and PB.
AP and PB. And what are the two halves of CD?
DQ and QC.
QC, DQ and QC. So you can, for half of AB, you should choose it correctly. Half of AB is AP or PB. Half of CD is CQ or DQ. So as Sangamitra said, AB is equal to CD. Half AB is equal to half CD. And half of AB, we choose to write PB is equal to half of CD as DQ. So we get this result, PB is equal to DQ. Thank you, Nivedita and Sangamitra. So this way we prove that PB and DQ, the opposite sides are parallel and equal, so it's a parallelogram. In a quadrilateral, if you prove that one pair of opposite sides is parallel and equal, it's a parallelogram. Do we get that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So the proof is similar for the first and the second one. The proof is similar for the first and second one. That is for this and this, the proof is similar. Let's see the third one. The third one, we will have to prove that this one is a parallelogram. This is a parallelogram. Now, we already know that this is parallel to this. I'll tell you how. And we also know that this is parallel to this. So it's a parallelogram. Both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. So it's a parallelogram. But how do you know that SQ is parallel to PR? SQ is a part of which one? SQ is a part of which line segment?
AQ.
AQ.
AQ,
ma'am. AQ. SQ is a part of AQ. And what about PR? PR is a part of
CP.
CP, ma'am.
CP. CP. Now is AQ parallel to CP? AQ parallel to CP? For that, you should ask
Yes,
if
ma'am.
it's a parallelogram.
Yes, ma'am.
Is APCQ a parallelogram? APCQ?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay, so if you proved it's a parallelogram, that means Now that you've proved it's a parallelogram, all the properties will flow in, everything. So both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel now. It may not be given to you, but since you have proved that APCQ is a parallelogram, both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. We proved in subdivision 1 that APCQ is a parallelogram. So that means both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. So AQ is parallel to PC. AQ is parallel to PC. SQ is a part of AQ and PR is a part of PC, the opposite sides. See it? This is parallel. This one is parallel to this one because APCQ is a parallelogram. These two are parallel. This is a part of AQ and this one is a part of CP. So when two line segments or two lines are parallel, any part of the lines also will be parallel to each other. That's what you see here. PR is parallel to QS. Because PC is parallel to AQ. PR is a part of PC. And QS is a part of AQ. And PC is parallel to AQ because PC is parallel to AQ. Because it's a part, APCQ is a parallelogram. Similarly, PS is parallel to QR. PS parallel to QR. This one. PS is parallel to QR. PS is parallel to QR because PS is a part of PD. Look at the figure. PS is a part of PD. And QR is a part of QB. QR is a part of QB. And we know that PD is parallel to QB. Because this is a parallelogram. BQ is a parallelogram. So in PSQR, to prove that PSQR is a parallelogram, we take the help of the results we got in 1 and 2. We make use of the result in 1 and 2 to prove the third one. From this parallelogram, we take one pair of opposite sides that are parallel. From this parallelogram, we take one pair of opposite sides that are parallel, and like that, using them, we prove that in the third quadrilateral, third meaning this one. In the third quadrilateral, using these two results, we prove that in the third quadrilateral, both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel, and so it's a parallelogram. Any questions, children?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
All right, children. So that's it for today's session. I'll be posting an assignment tomorrow on volumes and surface areas. Please complete that before the next class on Wednesday.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, children.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's it for today's session. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, children.
Thank you, ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you, children.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. See you.